I learned two important things on my first week stationed on Kepri Station. First, never assume an alien's social status based on their clothing. Second, humans should really stop joking under pressure. Kepri Station hung in orbit over a lavender gas giant, a diplomatic crossroads where species from half the Orion arm traded goods, treaties, and occasional insults thinly veiled as cultural misunderstandings. I was there as a junior systems engineer, cheap human labor according to the coalition, tasked with keeping the station's aging life support grid from catastrophically failing. Not glamorous, but it paid well enough, and humanity was still new enough to the galactic scene that we took what we could get. I just finished a 16-hour repair shift when I wandered into the station's communal exchange hall. It was a massive open chamber filled with vendors, translators humming softly in the air, and species that looked like they'd escaped from a biologist's nightmare. I was exhausted, hungry, and riding that dangerous edge where sleep deprivation convinces you you're funnier than you are. That's when I bumped into her. She was tall, taller than me by a good head, and her skin shimmered like polished moonstone, refracting light in subtle patterns. Her eyes were faceted, jewel-like, and her clothing was simple. A dark sash and a fitted tunic, unadorned, practical. She didn't look like a dignitary. She looked like someone running errands. I apologized automatically. Sorry about that. Long day. She inclined her head slightly, studying me with unnerving focus. You are human. Yeah, I said. The loud ones. Her lips, at least I think they were lips, curved faintly. Your reputation precedes you. That should have been my cue to shut up. Instead, my brain decided to go into comedy mode. So, I said, gesturing vaguely at her height and radiant appearance. Let me guess. Warrior poet. Mysterious assassin. Or are you secretly an interstellar princess slumming it among the common folk? There was a pause. Long one. Around us, the background noise of the exchange hall seemed to dim, as if the station itself was leaning in. Several nearby aliens abruptly stopped moving. The woman's eyes flickered, her pupils contracting into sharp geometric patterns. You believe my status is a jest? My stomach dropped. I meant, it's a human thing. Oh, bad one. Very bad one. She tilted her head. I see. For a moment I thought that was it. Social faux pas, mild offense, lesson learned. Then the floor beneath us hummed, and a ring of armored figures emerged from concealed panels, weapons raised. Not at me but outward, forming a protective perimeter around her. Every instinct I had screamed run, but my legs refused to cooperate. The woman turned to face me again, expression unreadable. You stand before Seralith Virex Conera, first heir of the Luminar throne. Royal. Actual royal. My translator helpfully clarified. Equivalent human concept. Empress in waiting. I swallowed. Right. Of course you are. One of the guards bristled, armor plates flaring with light. Seralith raised a hand, and the guard stilled instantly. You mock me still, she said. No, I said far too loudly. No, I swear. Humans just... We cope with fear using humor. It's pathological. She studied me for several heartbeats, then did something unexpected. She laughed. It wasn't loud, but it was musical, layered with harmonic undertones that made the air vibrate. The tension around us eased slightly, though the guards remained vigilant. You speak to me as an equal, she said. Few do. Fewer survive doing so unintentionally. Comforting, I muttered. Seralith dismissed her guard with a gesture and motioned for me to walk with her. I didn't feel like I had a choice. As we moved through the exchange hall, she asked me questions. About Earth, about humanity's fractured governments, About our habit of turning disaster into jokes. I answered honestly, figuring honesty was my best remaining survival strategy. When I asked why she was on Kepri Station without visible royal regalia, she surprised me again. Because I wish to see how the galaxy treats those without power, she said. It treats them poorly. Before I could respond, the station shuddered violently. Alarms blared. Lights flickered. A voice echoed over the intercom in half a dozen languages. Security breach. Hostile boarding detected. Pirates. The guards snapped back into formation, but Seralith didn't move toward safety. Instead, she turned to me. You maintain the station's systems, she said. It wasn't a question. Life support grid, I said. Why? Because the attackers are attempting to vent the civilian ring, she replied calmly. They wished to force compliance. My blood ran cold. That'll kill thousands. Yes, she said. Unless stopped. Her guards could fight, but pirates in space favored brute force and sabotage. Firepower wouldn't save the civilians fast enough. I made a decision that would haunt or define me forever. I can reroute the pressure locks, I said. But I'll need access to the core, and someone to hold off the borders. Seralitha's eyes burned with intensity. If you fail, you will die. Yeah, I said. That tracks. She placed a hand on my shoulder, and I felt a surge of warmth like standing too close to a star. Then go, human engineer. Show me if your species is worthy of its audacity. The next 20 minutes were chaos. I crawled through maintenance shafts, hands shaking as I bypassed safety protocols that were never meant to be overridden. Pirates breached bulkheads. Guards fought and fell. The station's AI screamed warnings I ignored. When the final reroute locked into place, the civilian ring stabilized. Atmosphere held. Collapsed gasping. Hours later, the pirates were defeated, outmaneuvered by a coalition response Seralith had quietly summoned while I worked. I expected reprimand. Maybe execution for my earlier disrespect. Instead, I was summoned before a formal court. Seralith stood before the assembled dignitaries, radiant now in full royal regalia. She spoke of courage, of sacrifice, of a human who had insulted her, and then saved thousands of lives without hesitation. She turned to me. You joked of royalty, she said. Now you stand in its presence as a friend. Humanity gained a powerful ally that day. And me. I got promoted, reassigned as a liaison engineer to the Luminar Empire. I still make jokes under pressure. But now I'm very careful about who I tease, because in a galaxy full of empires, you never know when the stranger you're talking to is already wearing a crown.